What's up, Scoop Podcast? I'm your host, Erica Krupin, and on today's episode, we are going to talk about business plans. And you might be like, Erica, business plans? What? Why are you wanting to talk about business plans? Well, guess what? I've been in business for 5 years, and I am going to make a business plan for an official business plan for the first time in my business. I have been running it. I've been doing all right, but there are some fundamental issues, problems that I'm running across. And after talking with my coach, I need a business plan and I need to write it all out. I need to do the boring stuff. As entrepreneurs, right? We like to do the fun stuff. We like to get our hands dirty. We like to be in the grind and doing all of that because it's exciting. It's new. But the boring stuff is the fundamentals, and it's extremely important. So if you are interested in hearing all about that, stay tuned. Whew, that was a heck of an intro. Yeah. All right, so for those of you that are watching on YouTube, I have a new headset. I got this because I'm going to the huge convention next week. I'll be there on Wednesday. I cannot think of the day off the top of my head right now, but I am going there Wednesday and I'm speaking on Thursday at 5 p.m. at the Jobber booth. So if you are there at the huge convention, please come and check me out. Come and say hi. Shoot me a message on Instagram at the Scoop Podcast or on Kroopin's Poopin Scoopin. And let's link up because it'd be really, really cool to hang out. I'm giving a short presentation at the Jobber booth, and then I'm also going to be hanging out on Pod Row with some big names. Who's going to be there? Paul Jameson, Keith Kalfas, Andrew Martinez, Naylor. I believe he's the one that's like hosting it, and Jobber is sponsoring it. I'm incredibly nervous and incredibly excited to even be a part of this. I'm going to just soak up as much information as possible and just learn from these people. And so just soak it all up because this is going to be a learning experience for me. So I'm really stoked about that. And the reason why I bought the headset is because the setup that I have here is basically just for it's for the home office. It's for the home podcast studio, and I can't really travel with the big microphone. So I got 2 of these headsets for me and for the guest. I bought the Rodecaster. It's a very fancy piece of equipment. I don't know how to use it. So we're just going to stick with the old faithful, my old equipment. I am going to bring this with me after talking to Mr. Producer. He said, just bring it. You're going to be around people that know how to use it, and maybe you can get some insight. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll bring it. That'll be cool. So I'm incredibly, incredibly excited about that. Now that we're done talking about the exciting stuff, we need to get right into the boring stuff. When we talk about a business plan, right? And I know that I've talked about this before. I'm like, oh no, I didn't have a business plan. I just decided I was going to do it and I just jumped in and I did it. And that was cool. That was fine. Did the thing. But deep down inside, I felt like something's been off. I felt like I'm kind of aimlessly achieving things, but not really knowing what the bigger goal is. And when I get the question of, where do you see your business in 5 years? Where do you see your business in 10 years? I literally just think to myself, I hope I'm still in business. We cannot think that way. That's bare minimum, bare basic thinking, okay? And I need to be able to dream and vision cast because I am the leader. I am the vision maker for this business. And if I don't have the vision, who's going to have the vision? And same with you. If you don't have the vision for your company, who is? So if you can resonate with this, and if this is something that you've been struggling with as well, I'm going to just go through what is in a business plan. That is my sole purpose for this episode, is just talk about the points that need to be in a business plan. And then if I get good feedback, we can go in and we can do a deeper dive onto all the individual parts of the business plan. But get ready, you guys, because this crap is going to be boring. Incredibly boring, yet incredibly important. So first things first. I guess step 1, which I don't know why it's step 1 it's the executive summary. All right, so it's the first thing that's going to be in your business plan, but essentially this is going to be the last thing that is written when you do your business plan, because you need to go through everything and then you have to go through and summarize it into like 1 or 2 pages. In this section, it's going to be a concise overview of your business, including your mission, your vision, and your key objectives. Okay, so you're like your mission statement, the vision, all of it. And that's stuff that I have lacked in my business is I didn't even have a mission statement, you guys. Like, what? Why wouldn't I have a mission statement? And so I actually had to go through and write that. This is going to be around 1 or 2 pages. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And like I said, it is the first thing that is presented, but it is the last thing that is going to be written. This is going to be incredibly important if you're the type of business that is going to need lenders, or you're wanting to bring on partners, or if you're wanting to get financing. This section is going to be incredibly important. Now for us pooper scoopers, the entry level, or the barrier to entry is so low. I don't foresee any of us needing somebody to loan them money, but you never know. You might want to get a loan or have somebody loan you money because you want to go all in on the marketing material. You want to make sure that you build up a badass website, and you just want to wrap the vehicles, and you want to go all in right away instead of just buying, like, business cards that you can afford and putting magnets on your vehicle, and then as you make money upgrading it. There's different ways to go about this. You can definitely go all in. It's more expensive that way. Step 2 is going to be your company description. This is where you get to describe your business. You're going to give your readers a clear understanding of what your business is about, what it does, where it exists, how it's going to operate. I know you got to think about all of this stuff. It's like, I don't know how to do all of that. And I think that's why I had such a hard time when I tried to sit down and do this, because I didn't know how it was going to operate. Now that I've been in business for a while, I have that stuff figured out. So going and doing this part of the business plan is not going to be difficult for me because I have this part all figured out. You're also going to want to include stuff such as like your legal structure, the location of your business, the city, the state, the problem that you're solving for the customers. You're going to want to talk about your mission here. You're going to want to include the industry, the market, company values, the founder who owns the business, and any members that are in the business as well. So if you have a partner or if there's other people working in the business, you're also going to want to talk about them. Step 3, you're going to do a deep dive into market analysis. You're going to basically investigate the market, who your competition is, customer demographics, the market size, potential growth, industry overview. And the cool thing is we live in 2023, so you can do a lot of this stuff online. I thoroughly enjoyed looking through all the Google reviews of my potential competition. There are a lot of companies that are offering this service. I want to say there was 60 something on Google that was offering the service that was within like a 45-minute drive of where I operate from. I was like, holy crap. Holy crap. So that's a pretty hefty section, but it was fun. It was fun to do a lot of research. And if you start doing some and you're like, I don't have anybody in my area, that's okay. Then this is your opportunity to create the market. All right, so then number 4, you're going to talk about your services and your product, or you might offer products, you might just offer services, but you're going to want to talk about what you offer. You're going to want to talk about your pricing strategy. And you might be like, I don't know how I'm going to price. Well, if you've done some investigation, right, and some other companies, you've been able to gather some information on how they are offering their prices. This is one rule of thumb that I will offer up to you. As a professional pooper scooper, our business tries to make $60 per man hour. So if you're going out and scooping, whatever you're doing, if it's 1 clean or 4 cleans, those cleans need to equate to $60 per man hour, because that's going to help take care of overhead, paying you, putting money away for taxes, all of that. So when you're thinking about your pricing, if you're like, I can only do 3 weeklies per hour, you're going to want to price those at least $20 a piece. Okay? at least. So that's a little insider tip. I didn't know that when I first got started. Trust me, I was charging like $13.50 per scoop for like a long time. And one-time cleans, these cleans that were taking like forever, $50. That's it. Literally, that's it. In this section, you're also going to want to talk about the problems that you solve. You're going to want to talk about tools that you're going to use in your services. Also, how are you going to ensure that you're providing quality service? What's going to be your focal point? Me, customer service. That's really where I've leaned into. Yeah, we can go there and scoop. Yeah, we can do a good job, but I want to make sure that that customer feels respected and the experience that they have with us as they onboard, as they go through the scooping process, afterwards, the invoice, all of it. I just want to make sure it's easy and it's comfortable for them. Customers that are comfortable and feel good, they pay their bills usually, and they tell their friends and family because I want them to tell everybody. I want them to turn into a raving fan. In this section, you're also going to want to talk about like packaging of your brand. Like how are you going to brand yourself? How are you going to present your service to the people that you're potentially going to be offering it to? Number 5 is your market and sales strategy. This is a tough one. This can be a tough one. How are you going to market? What are the platforms that you're going to be on? Who is your target audience, right? Who are you trying to speak to? Who's your ideal customer? What's your plan to acquire new customers? What's going to be your budget for marketing? And also a CRM. I feel like a customer relations management software. This fits into a lot of different categories throughout your marketing plan because not only does a CRM do invoicing, do routing, do customer communication, do all of that stuff, but it also collects a lot of information for you, such as phone numbers and email addresses. So then in the future, you're able to create custom marketing plans and be able to advertise to these people once they're no longer a customer, or if they just inquired and they decided not to move forward with your service, you still have that type of information. And you're able to market to them later on down the road because they might not be you might not be the right company for them right now, or they might not actually need your service, but down the road they very well could. So you need to make sure that you are somehow, some way staying in front of those people. So when they do need your service, you're going to be the first one that they call, baby. Number 6, the nuts and bolts of your business. This is going to be your operational plan. This is going to include your organizational structure, responsibilities, and logistics. The legal stuff, such as workers' rights, the type of help that you're going to need. Are you going to hire W-2 or 1099? You need to look into that and do some research. All the regulations that go into hiring both. You're going to want to look into the systems that you may need for your business, such as a website, the CRM, the phone number, a routing app if you don't get a CRM that has routing in it. Jobber, the CRM I use to run, grow, and manage my small poopa scoopa business, has all of that stuff included. I absolutely love that. You're also going to want to think about your website, your accounting, your payroll, your legal team, because you don't need a lawyer until you need one. Now, I'm not saying you need to go ahead and get one on retainer, but do some investigating and have a couple names so if something does happen, you're able to call somebody quickly instead of being like, oh my gosh, who am I going to call? You at least have a couple names written down, you know? You never know. You literally never know when you're going to need legal help. No good. I hope that that never happens for you. I truly do. I truly do. All right, number 7, financial projections. This is where I struggle at. This is where I am actually having a hard time. This is the section where you're going to estimate where your revenues and expenses and create a realistic financial forecast. These are just projections for the next 3 to 5 years. I know. This is where I struggle. Concluding the financial projection section with a summary or key takeaways to reinforce the significance of a financial data presented and allows readers to quickly grasp the financial health and growth potential of your small business. That came straight from Google, and that was hard for me to read. So basically, let me just summarize that. You're going to want to just come up with these projections of where your business is going to be. This is really important. This section would be important if you're looking for investors. It is also really important for yourself to keep yourself on track. So if you say, hey, I want to bring in $50,000 by the time I've been in business for 24 months. When that happens, when it's 24 months, you can look to see if you hit the 50,000 or if you surpassed it. Now, during this time, you should be doing like check-ins, seeing where your money's at, and you're able to keep track of that in QuickBooks and Jobber and different type of accounting softwares to make sure that you are on track. And also in this section, you're going to want to have stuff that says like cost of goods sold, your profit margins, your operating expenses. This is going to be your overhead. A P&L, which is a profit and loss statement, which I pull mine from QuickBooks, and then also cash flow projections. Like I said, this is the section where I struggle. I'm thinking maybe my accountant would be the right person to sit down and schedule out some time and be like, hey, we need to go through this step by step, and I need to ask more questions. So that could be a good spot for you if you're not the type of person that's like a numbers person. You might want to enlist into an accountant that is willing to sit down and have these conversations with you. And if you have an accountant that's not willing to, I would suggest finding a different accountant. I would. All right, so number 8, this is going to be funding and investments. This is if you need somebody to invest in your company, or you're trying to get a loan, you're trying to get a grant. This is where you're going to do some investigating online, reach out to your local chamber of commerce, find out what kind of grants or loans that could work for you. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because I feel like with our business, we're not going to really need that. But if you're listening to this and you're like, no, I need for you to do a deeper dive into it, I will, for sure. And then your number 9 step is going to be your SWOT analysis. This is where you're going to evaluate your business. SWOT, S is strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. You're going to want to think about all of that type of stuff, and you're going to want to summarize the key takeaways. You're going to want to highlight how you plan on leveraging your strengths, addressing your weaknesses, capitalizing on the opportunities, and mitigating those threats. That sounds like a really robust section. And then number 10 is going to be your conclusion and go on to your next step. This is where you're going to summarize your plan. You're going to emphasize your accountability steps, and you'll take the time to implement everything that you've put together. And then once you have all that done, I don't know how long it's going to take, then you go back up to the top, and that's when you're going to write your executive summary. And enjoy this process. You don't have to write this all in one day. I'm sure in the heck not going to. And just do it little by little and make sure that you're getting as detailed as possible. And if you need help, reach out to people, do some research online, and just embrace and enjoy the journey. You're a business owner, or you're getting ready to embark on being a business owner. So don't let this scare you. Don't let this freak you out. It's not like you have to have this in order to have a business. I just felt like this was a step that I missed, and I needed to go back, especially with like the financial projection part, because I felt like I'm not as educated as I would like to be. And for me, when I'm not educated in something, I don't feel confident. And in order for me to feel confident, I need to educate myself, because education is power, you guys. And remember that. If you're feeling non-confident in an area, you might just need to do a little bit of educating yourself in order to have your shoulders back and feel like you're able to have a good conversation with other business owners. And you're not just quiet, sitting over in the corner. You're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Because sometimes I feel that way. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing over here, which is insane, because I do. It's just a matter of getting this information out of my brain and on to paper. All right, you guys, I hope this wasn't boring. I hope that you guys are still awake. I hope you guys stayed with me. I truly appreciate it. I want to thank everybody that has been tuning in. We're getting close to 52 episodes. My goal was to make sure that I put out 52 episodes in 52 weeks, and I want to say this is going to be number 45. This is going to be number 45. So we're doing it. We're achieving goals. We're working on our hopes and our dreams. And if you guys aren't following me over on the Scoop podcast on Instagram, I would invite you over there to come hang out with me. I am hella active, hella active over in my stories. It's basically like a daily vlog of whatever the heck's going on with me. And then I post stuff like reels and clips from all of the podcasts and then whatever other stuff I want to post. But stories is really where it's at. So if you want to keep up with me, go hang out over there at the Scoop Podcast. And until next time, bye.